Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
Hello, happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Welcome back to See You Next Tuesday, where we said we would see you next Tuesday. And here we are, following through on that promise and seeing you the following Tuesday. And guess what? We'll also see you the following Tuesday.
What a concept.
A fantastic concept, I might say. So we are going to go over the results from the last week's episode of But Am I Wrong? And we're going to read who you all decided was in the wrong. And we're also going to read your thoughts and feelings and messages that you sent in along with those. And it's going to be a great time. Are you ready?
So ready.
This is for episode 115. And you are first.
And we got a fresh spotlight. What do they call them?
Highlight,
I
think.
Okay. And I said, or as this is worded, Melissa is pleading for musicals to be musicals again. 1% said I was wrong. 99% said I was not wrong.
Kenny Ortega haters up in here. 5 people. Also, I have to say, looking at like the preview, like teaser photos, I don't think this movie is going to be good. But I am loving the hair and makeup for it. And the cinematography shots, I don't know if that's from like footage or if it's a photographer who was on there. But it was looking like a sad clown. And it was aesthetically
that's what it's supposed to be.
Aesthetically, I was like, this is interesting. But I don't know about anything else.
There's a really cool shot of Harley visiting him in prison, and he doesn't have his makeup on, and because he's in prison, and she takes out her lipstick and draws it the way that it would be, and then the camera just kind of pans over so it fits perfectly on his face, and that's pretty cool. And that's
nice.
The coolest thing
I've
seen
in a trailer?
about that movie. Yeah,
there's a trailer.
Yeah, that came out a while ago. That might have been is it one of those silent trailers? No, they're talking in it.
No, they're not singing though.
No, they're not singing in any of them except for the one where like you see them
on
singing and dancing down stairs and kicking doing high kicks, but it's not a musical.
No. They just happen to convey their thoughts and feelings through song. Mm-hmm. And that is just a totally normal experience. When you can't find the words, instead pick other words and just do this thing with your voice where you do it melodically. Mm-hmm. But that's just sharing your thoughts and feelings.
That's just sharing your
Try
thoughts
that
and
today.
feelings.
Raise your hand in class. Share your thoughts and feelings to song.
They need to say if the movie is a musical blatantly without spoilers. I don't want to be surprised, and I don't want to ruin it for others. You will find your audience, but stop bamboozling people. Also, less musicals, please. I had no idea about this one or Wonka, but what the fuck? I disagree with that last part.
Yeah, you guys might not know this about Melissa. Melissa stands a fucking musical.
And the thing is like, you don't, because you didn't know that they were musicals and you weren't going to see it, you were never the audience to begin with. So there doesn't need to be less of something just because you don't enjoy it.
Don't take away my musicals. I want more musicals for adults. Because that's the issue. Like Kenny Ortega right now is making musicals for children. And I'm like, Kenny, I don't want to watch zombies.
Give me more Grease.
Yeah. Is that an earthquake?
I don't feel it. Someone else said, I feel like before everyone started doing musicals, they were something that was sacred. When a musical is done right, it can be incredibly entertaining and special to watch. For some reason, musicals have turned into this corny, guilty pleasure thing, and now everyone who participates in one likes to deny that they're in one. Let musicals be musicals and let them stand alone again. Agree. But like, as far as like everybody's doing it, everybody's not doing it because like back in the day, musicals were the norm. When
that was like the only movie.
Yes, like when you were going to the movies, you were going to see like there was going to be somebody singing and tapping and doing and slides down a stair and jumping into a split. They fell off because of this. I could go into a whole dissertation on film, but they fell off basically when film was going through a rebrand and they're like, we need to be more darker and grittier. This was in the 70s. And then there was a shift in what cinema was. And then when musicals started trying to come back, then that's when people started saying they were corny.
Misogyny also played, the patriarchy misogyny also plays huge into this, is because like men used to dress like put lots of effort and like be very prim and like, and well, not prim, what's primp, like do those kinds of things that like are now associated with femininity and like singing in musicals, like going to the opera, like going to do all of it. Those were not feminine activities.
Right.
Like that's just what people did. And now the association with that is, and that despite the fact that women specifically spend more money than like we spend the most money in doing all of that kind of stuff, these studios are still run by men who think that they need to cater specifically to men, and therefore they've like pushed away from the formula that like literally started it all.
Yep. And it was like they need to be on motorcycles and stuff. But if you want to see a living legend that embodies all that before the turn, and that is Dick Van Dyke. A true man of song, dance, acting. He still got it. He is very light
on his feet. He's light on his feet. He almost sometimes looks like he's floating. And I'll give it to you. Current Dick Van Dyke, to me, is an insurance hazard.
But he's still out here dancing and stuff.
I know, because this, like, the way that, like, that mind-body connection, like, I actually just don't have. And so I'm like, sir, I feel like we should sit down, and he's fine. And it's just, like, it's hard for me in my heart to watch. But young him was, I was always more of a him than, like, a, what's his name? Who's the Singing in the Rain guy?
Gene Kelly.
Yeah, I was always more of a Dick Van Dyke than a Gene Kelly, because Dick Van Dyke also was playing those character actors. Yeah. Like he got those roles with personality, with a little pizzazz, a little oomph. He wasn't just like, hello.
Yep. No,
what are the
Dick Van Dyke Show was something that I watched religiously every night on Nick at Night. A black and white show that came out before I was born. I believe before my parents were also born. When did Dick Van Dyke Show come out? 1961. They were babies. Tiny babies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's impressive that you can watch. Could you watch something in black and white now?
I've sat and watched Dick Van Dyke Show the other day. It's on Peacock. It'll automatically, when he was on Days of Our Lives for a stint, it would automatically come on after. And so now after Days of Our Lives goes off, it automatically starts. And sometimes I'll just watch an episode.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, in the sense of like, would you start a new show that's that old, or is there a nostalgia component for the fact that like,
I feel like anything that's that old and actually good and has stood the test of time, I've already seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Mont and I talk about all the time. There's like certain things that like old movies that he'll want to watch. And I'll go, oh, what is this? And he goes, well, if you're going to watch with me, I'm going to change it. And I go, why? Is it Gone with the Wind? And he's like, no, even I don't fuck with Gone with the Wind. But there's like certain ones where he's like, no, it's like the way that like this doesn't pass the Bechdel test. Like, and I was like, yeah, but the other movies I like that don't pass the Bechdel test. And he's like, no, like there's just like, it's just not. Mm-hmm. It's just not. And like he's got a nostalgia aspect of it, of like he watched it when he was younger, and he's like, but no, we're gonna watch something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I feel that way about a lot of old stuff, and now I am like very rarely, unless it is like vouched for by so many fucking people, and I like read all the reviews. I'm not. If this is a period piece, I'm not taking the fucking risk with it whatsoever, because my grandmother made me fucking watch, what's the other one besides, Sound of Music, which I was like, okay. And then Gone with the Wind. Mm-hmm. And the way that I said, this movie is not over. Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it was, and also I'm like, Grandma, who are you rooting for?
Right.
Ma'am? Well, I know who she was rooting for, but I was just like, first of all, and you know it's bad when as a child I go, the dresses aren't even pretty enough to save this plot. That's how you know it's fucking bad.
Sure. Bring back good musicals.
I forgot what we were talking about. Okay.
That's why I had to close it out.
Good job.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Then we have mine. Megan says, Canadians, please stay out of American politics if you're just going to plead ignorance. 3% said I was wrong. 97% said I was not wrong. And someone said, as a Canadian, Megan is not wrong. Thank you. Oh my God, I listened to this podcast and then got a TikTok like that and I immediately had to scroll because I agree. Yep. As a Canadian, I'm literally so confused about American politics because it's so different than ours. So I can't imagine trying to have an opinion about it other than Trump sucks, TBH. Our news does cover a lot of updates on the States as well, so we're not as removed from it as Australia is. But you can't look at American politics as if they're the same as Canadian voting because they're just so different, which is confusing. And I think that's why Canadians try to participate because we're constantly being fed American news, but it doesn't make sense in our Canadian perspective. AKA Megan's right. Canadians need to stay out of USA politics. I will never understand how people from other places can somehow think they know more and better than the people that live here. When I weigh in on politics in other places, it's nothing but showing support and advocating for those who need it. It's a classic case of if you don't have anything nice to say, shut the fuck up and eat some poutine. Facts.
I
Facts.
could go for some poutine right now.
Yeah. I could too, except I just know I only recently started pooping again. I don't want to fuck with that.
It might be a little liquidy.
That either would speed things up or slow things down. Oh my God. You're not going to know this reference, I don't think, but this was a great post for me. Like photos.
It's Lizzie McGuire.
No.
Is this not Lizzie McGuire?
No, it's Hillary Duff.
Okay, is she not in Lizzie McGuire doing this?
Nope.
Well.
Told you. This is Cinderella story.
Oh, I've seen it though.
Okay, so then you don't remember the iconic part?
I just don't remember.
Of when she's like, it's a voiceover because they're texting, and so she like says it in her head, and you hear her voice, and she goes, laugh out loud.
And you did it, and how I could hear her say it.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
a good
you.
impression.
I have representation. You can contact them.
Yeah, I've seen it, and then I never watched it again once I found out how old Chad Michael Murray is.
Chad Michael Murray stayed playing high school age for far too long in these movies, making out with these teenagers.
And I watched, I think it might have been commentary at the end of this, or at least it was some type of interview. Mm-hmm. And the director talked about how Hillary wasn't comfortable with kissing him. And so he put them like together in the trailer and wouldn't let them come out till they kissed. And then I was done with the movie. So I blocked this out.
Unfortunately, shit like that still happens too.
Yep. All right, writer number 1. Would they be wrong for texting a new guy right after ending a 5-year relationship? Who's wrong? 7% said the writer's wrong. 93% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said, my guy, you are so over current relationship. End it and move on. Clearly, this excitement about a new person thing doesn't happen to you often, so you know the feelings are real. Sounds like current boyfriend is in the same boat too, so go for it. Someone else said, context for why I voted they are wrong. My friend is getting a divorce, and it just so happens to line up with her and her coworker realizing they are made for each other, quote unquote, and having sex with each other while at their manager's apartment.
Okay, that's a very different situation.
This is so specific. 1 week after separating from her husband. So many layers to unpack. Situationally, I'd normally say figure yourself out before moving on. But if it's just for a no strings, you said stings, but I'm guessing strings, a no strings hookup, go for it. 1, this is a coworker. These people are coworkers. 2, they're having sex at their manager's home.
3,
this is
why
not
do you
the same
know this?
situation. It would be different if it was somebody that worked with him. This person just showed up at their work. They worked with them, and then they were like, let's go hook up at our manager's house.
But again, I reiterate, how do you know this information?
Obviously,
Did they say it was a friend?
Sharing is caring.
Was it a friend, they said?
My friend is getting a divorce.
And this is what the friend
your
is.
Friend.
Yeah, so I'm actually, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for their sins in this one because you're still friends with them, so you can no longer judge. But you might be one of those people who uses the term friend loosely.
If they're telling business like this, it's got to be a friend, unless they just have loose lips.
Well, I was going to say, but then they might be a friend to one and the other one's not a friend to them because you're telling us.
True.
Which I know it's anonymous, and sometimes
it's not anonymous to us, though.
And the other part is sometimes, like, it's entertaining to have a friend like that.
Yeah. I keep one friend specifically. Well, I not anymore because then they tried to ask me to write something for them. But I know
I kind of miss those stories.
I know. I kept a friend just for their mess.
And it was messy. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story
But I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
God.
Okay, then we have writer number 2. Would they be wrong if they didn't have Bridesmaids?
I'm not saying, oh God, because of the writer. I'm saying, oh God, because of this photo.
What photo, Melissa? What are you implying, that this is not a photo of a bride with her bridesmaids on her wedding day? That she wanted all of them there and she's so happy and she has zero regrets?
It's the outfit, the leg pop.
It's the fact that when I removed the background, those shoes disappeared. So she looks barefoot. And she's got that sorority pose down though.
This is in case you don't know, Megan talked about it on last week's episode, but am I wrong? It's a photo from what's her name?
It's not Kiana. That was the bride, wasn't it?
The company that she has is called Key Look. The Key Look, yeah. So she is posing at the wedding
with her fellow bridesmaids.
It's not the wedding that we're specifically talking about. This is just something she does all the time.
Sydney, thanks for the shout out saying impeccable photo choice. I'm so glad you clocked that.
Did you read what it was though?
Oh, probably not. 0% said the writer's wrong. 100% said the writer's not wrong. Another person also just says, please, this picture, crying. As someone who can't decide whether or not when I get married, I want it to be a small courthouse type thing or a big party, choosing whether or not to have bridesmaids is totally your decision. When it's your day, you should only have the people you want up there with you. Whether that makes you comfortable is the best decision. Someone else said, I had 3 more bridesmaids than I intended, and it was only because my brain needed me to have the same number of people in my party as my husband. I do not talk to any of them anymore for various reasons. You don't want to look back at your photos and see people you can't stand. Yeah. That's fair.
Question for the writer of this comment. Was one of the groomsmen
I know, I wondered the same
the
question.
one that made an offer to your husband?
But he thought he couldn't refuse, but your husband said, I'm actually going to refuse. I'm actually super not interested.
And the wrong of the week, this was a duet that we had. We both chose the same thing.
It was an Eiffel Tower of a topic.
Who's in the middle? Chase?
Chase Bank, we're fucking... We're actually railing Chase Bank.
So wrong of the week, Chase Money Glitch idiots. Who's wrong? 96% said the idiots are wrong. 4% said the idiots are not wrong.
And now, for those 4%, do you self-identify with these said idiots? I really need to know how many people did it.
Yeah. Someone said, oops, I messed up and meant to vote. They are wrong because they are actually so dumb. Another person said, they're so wrong, but I'm also kind of here for criminals telling on themselves. Correct.
I'm also here for funny criminal activity.
Yeah, because physically, no one got hurt.
Well, and also banks fundamentally suck. So there is no victim. It's a victimless crime also because they still have your money. So they're going to take it back immediately. And it just becomes a really expensive game of hot potato.
Mm-hmm. Expensive and criminal.
Exactly. And I do like when crimes are expensive.
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
To give an update on one of my former But Are They Wrongs, the day has come where Sean Combs has been arrested. The Diddler has been arrested for his heinous acts. And I don't know if you saw the video of him just hours before. He was
just walking around.
He was sitting in Central Park and he kept checking his phone, looking real like he was just sitting there.
Sinister.
But he kept checking his phone. Like, I think he was like waiting for something to drop.
He knew because he like moved to New York, and I'm like, the vibe he's giving is like, I'm gonna be so cooperative that like you guys are just gonna like have to let me off. And I'm like, these are the feds. Like, I don't think that that's gonna happen for you, my dude.
Yeah, with them finding all that baby oil
and lube
and the tapes. He taped all of it.
Yep.
As blackmail, but also for his own pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
What a sicko.
Yep. He's disgusting. And I love when the criminal justice system does what it's actually supposed to do. And I hope, exactly. I was like, do you like him?
Who?
Christopher Meloni.
Oh.
Sorry. That you weren't in my head for that segue, and I apologize because it was a totally seamless segue in my head, but I didn't say it out loud.
You did not say it out loud. He's got a fat ass and he likes to show it off. He seems like he has a great personality.
He does, doesn't he?
I've seen him do both comedic and serious roles. I've seen him whipping his peen out. He was on an episode, I think it was Nip Tuck, and it was just... Oh.
Did they nip it or tuck it?
I don't know. I never watched the show. I just saw the clip. It might not even been that. He was in the shower.
Personal hell show.
Seems nice, and I think Mariska Hargitay wouldn't put up with him if he wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, I will take any form of celebrity. Like, I'll meet people where they're at. Like, I don't need people who are like great at press and who like do wonderful press and like go on the late night shows and they've got like their funny little bits. But I will always have a special place in my heart for someone who can like go on a BuzzFeed interview and leave with like every person in that room like clearly being like in love with them. Mm-hmm. And I think the two people who are able to do that like I was going to say three, but I think one of them, Keke Palmer, I think it's like she walks into the room and you already have been in love with her before she stepped foot in there.
Yeah.
But I think Chris Meloni and Anthony Mackie, both of them, like you can just tell when they like finish their interview that everybody's like, I am in love with you. Like you are amazing. And I love people like that where like you like look forward to like their interviews and they're not going to be like, let me talk about my art, which is fine. But sir, this is BuzzFeed. We're going to actually read thirst tweets.
Right.
And
did
play
you see
puppies.
that person? I think we might have talked about it a while ago. I don't remember, but that person that was like the worst celebrity I ever met was Anthony Mackie, and she went up to him at the gas station.
With his, she's like, well, his windows were rolled down. What did he expect? And I go, fresh air and a breeze. You fucking freak! Like, what do you mean? What did he expect with his windows? She's like, it's Anthony Mackie. His windows are rolled down. I go, are you thinking celebrities walk around like Bubble Boy? Like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, that, and I did love that immediately. Everyone was like, no, he's fine. You're being weird.
Yep.
And the same thing with that video about Renee Rapp, where someone was like, I met her at VIP in the hotel and like she didn't like want to talk and hang out with me and have a conversation. She didn't seem interested in my life. And everyone's like, yeah, why would she be?
Right.
This
Just because you
weird.
both were in VIP, you thought that you had access to her. It wasn't a meet and greet. And from what she told, it seemed like Renee was trying to, you know, mac on somebody. And you were cat blocking.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, if that's what you're expecting out of a VIP experience, you should not spend that much money.
Right. She was also in VIP. Like, y'all were both there as VIP. It wasn't like she was there hosting something. She was hanging out.
She was a patron, just as much as you were. And the same way that she's a stranger. Like, do you want to befriend a stranger? You want to befriend Renee Rapp. To Renee Rapp, you are a stranger.
Right.
Do you want to befriend a stranger?
Right. And that's not the way to go about it. If you're both in VIP, be cool. Like,
well, also, like, you actually do have the opportunity to be friends and be normal.
Right.
But unfortunately, you do have to follow the second part, which is be normal.
Right.
Like, you can't come in here with fan behavior. You can be, like I said, you can fuck celebrities. You can be friends with celebrities. Just be normal about it.
Normal.
You have to be normal about it. If you make it weird, it's not going to happen. But like, it's not as hard as you think it is.
Nope.
Not at all.
Jinx. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to another spectacular episode of See You Next Tuesday. Tomorrow, you got a little break. If you missed But Am I Wrong yesterday, catch up. Thursday, we'll be back for Don't Blame Me. And then Friday, we'll be back with Fisting Friday. Have a great day, and we will see you next
Tuesday. Bye.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
And Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.